Hi everybody, how are you? And happy Tuesday. Here we are in the front hallway, our narthex of this church. That is the little space between the front doors and the actual sanctuary. I love this space because it's a nice little spot where people are greeted when they come in to worship. So the story that I'm going to share for you today is about a young girl named Sara. In a small village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a woman named Sara. She was known for her unwavering faith in God, a faith that had sustained her through the toughest of times. One day, a devastating drought struck the village, leaving the crops withered and the people desperate. Many lost hope, but not Sara. She believed that God would provide, even in the darkest of days. With a heart full of faith, Sara gathered the villagers and led them in prayer. She encouraged them to trust in God's plan, to remain steadfast in their belief that He could see them through this trial. Days turned into weeks, and still there was no sign of rain. But Sara refused to waver. She continued to pray, to have faith, and to inspire those around her to do the same. Then, one evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, clouds gathered in the sky. The villagers watched in awe as raindrops began to fall, softly at first, then with increasing intensity. It was indeed a miracle. The drought was broken, and the land was renewed. The villagers rejoiced, thanking God for His mercy and provision. But it was Sara's unwavering faith that had moved mountains, that had shown them the power of believing in something greater than themselves. From that day on, Sara's faith became a beacon of hope for the village, a reminder that no matter how dire the circumstances, with God, all things are possible. You know, sometimes we can feel like we are personally in a space that is like a drought, where we maybe have lost our faith for one reason or another. But God calls upon us to be faithful even in times of sorrow and tribulation. God calls us to remain steadfast, as God's love is always steadfast for us. I pray that each of you always find hope and strength in loving and living for God, and knowing that God is always by our side, even in the most difficult of times, but also in the rejoicing times. Have a beautiful day. Trust in God, love God, and live for God.